So
Yes.
the March 1st meeting of the Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. A roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Hoover,
Here.
Mr. Rutherford,
Here.
Mr. Colvin.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Minutes of the regular session of February 17, 2021 have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff? Hearing none.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Mr.
Second.
Colvin. Seconded by Mr. Rutherford. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Mr. Duncan, we're going to start off with you.
Okay, well, hello, and I come before the board tonight to select a asphalt provider for my in-house street department asphalt to be picked up by the street department for May the 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2022. And we had 4 companies that bid this. And I can go ahead and give you the prices if you want me to run through them.
If you can do that quickly, Kenny, that'd be fine.
All right, for 9mm surface, asphalt surface, E&B was $56.50. Harding was $56.50. Milestone was $53, and Reith Riley was $65. Then we move over to 12mm asphalt binder. E&B was $56. Harding was $56. Milestone was $51.25. And Reith Riley was $62. Then we go over to 19mm binder. E&B was $52. Harding was $49.50. Milestone was $48.25, and Reith Riley was $58. Then we run over to 25mm asphalt base. E&B was $49.50. Harding was $48.50. Milestone, $45. Reith Riley, $56. Then we had our surface cold patch. E&B was $135. Harding was $110. Milestone was $130. And Reith Riley was $138. I did have 2 of them this year that wasn't going to charge for the no dumping, and that was Milestone and Harding. And with that being said, I'd like to go, since Milestone was lower on 4 of the 5, I'd like to go with Milestone and as my provider, and ask that legal be able to prepare a contract and get the mayor to sign it if approved.
Questions for that recommendation by Kenny?
I move we approve recommending Milestone. Second.
Moved in second, and further discussion. And that's for all 5 issues, correct, Kenny?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. This is public service night. We're going to start with Chief Hoggett first. Good evening, Darren.
You're muted, I think, maybe, or we can't hear you.
We don't appear to be muted, but I can see your lips moving, but can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we
Yep.
go.
Now we can.
We'll try this. The first item is the annual siren maintenance agreement with Federal Field Services. And that is an agreement for the 9 storm sirens that we have within the city and 2 control points. That siren maintenance agreement remains at $4,400 for this year. Is the same amount as last year. I'm asking for board approval.
I'd move for approval.
It's for the mayor to sign.
Yes.
Correct.
Second.
Jeff, was that a second?
Yes.
Any further discussion?
I do have a question, Chief. Have we had the need to expand any more sirens due to the new subdivisions?
We have not currently. We are looking at that, and we're trying to find funding sources for those. We would like to, there are a couple of areas. One is the southwest area that's growing that we would like to put a storm siren in. And I've been working with numerous people to within the city to look at what funding for that would be and what mechanism we could use to do that.
I think out there close to the new fire station would be a good place, maybe.
Right, and that the Cherryfield walk area, and then maybe even a little bit farther south, the Stones Crossing and Honey Creek area is the area that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Other questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
All right, the second item is an update to our general order for appearance policy, and it is mainly just updating the facial hair policy that we have. We've had newer equipment for face masks, and this hasn't been updated in the past 4 or 5 years. And the cups that we actually wear in our face masks are a little bit larger, and so it would allow for a little larger mustache if gentlemen wanted to do that. Right now, it's a ½ an inch around the lips, so it actually, with the new mask, we can have a little bit more facial hair, but it does go on to clarify that it can't touch any part of that face mask. It can't touch any part of an N95 respirator. So I'd just like to clean that appearance policy facial hair portion up and update it a little bit.
So Mr. Colvin would not be qualified for some reasons, but that one as well.
Beards and goatees are still not permitted.
All right, there we go. I thought maybe I'd grow the Elvis mutton chops too. So I
Yeah,
guess that's out.
those are also not permitted.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Like the old Cincinnati Reds.
Right.
That's right.
We have resolution number 21-06 in front of us, which encompasses that amended policy. Is there a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll move for approval.
I'll
Thank you,
second.
Mr. Garvin. Thank you, Mr. Rutherford. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Let's move to our other chief, Chief Heisen. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's first on your agenda, Chief?
I think it is the approval of our annual grant with Johnson County, Drug-Free Johnson County Community Fund Grant. We enter into this with them on an annual basis. This year, the grant amount is $3,911, and we use that to buy equipment for our narcotics enforcement. So usually it goes towards the purchase of drug kits, which it will again this year. And I think that they're asking for some digital voice recorders for interviews with informants and dealers and stuff like that.
Questions for the chief?
Well,
Go ahead, Shan.
I'd move for approval with the chief to sign.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
And then we've got a new job description.
Yes, and the hiring of our probationary officers that we have coming up, I was reviewing the probationary patrolman job description, and just found a few paperwork things that needed to be addressed. Under experience, we do not require experience, but I would like to add that prior law enforcement and military service is preferred. And then under the skills and abilities, it said that they would have to pass a shotgun course. We haven't used shotguns in quite a while or carried patrol shotguns. We actually carry the AR-15 patrol rifles. So I'd like to substitute patrol rifle for shotgun. And those are the only two changes.
Questions for Chief Ison? Well, I'll move that we approve the revised probationary patrolman job description.
Second.
Second by Mr. Colvin. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Chief. Next on our agenda is Lauren Campagna with the Alta parking lot expansion. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Tell us what you want here.
So we have completed Monmouth Realty, who is the owner of the building and land. We have completed the expansion employee parking lot for Alta. So we just wanted the acknowledgement that it has been approved and finalized, and all the as-built and documents have been provided to the city as requested. And ownership wanted to have the release of their performance bonds.
Daniel, we've got a motion from Paul in your department with that very motion. Is that still the case?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Questions for Daniel or for Lauren? If not,
I would move to approve.
I'll second.
thank you, gentlemen. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Thank you, Lauren. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you guys as well. Take care.
Is there anyone else from the audience who would wish to address the Board of Works this evening? If not, we'll move on to Mr. Hodson with the IDAM compliance plan status update. Evening, Sam. I see he's on the phone. Sam, you're still muted if you can hear me. Let's do this. Shan and Jeff, have you had an opportunity to review the IDAM report that to us?
Yes, I have.
Any
Yeah.
questions?
No.
No.
Okay. Sam may be having some technical issues.
You want to just run on to the city engineer?
Yeah, let's do that. Just go down to Daniel. Daniel, are you ready for annual paving project?
That's correct. So we have had a number of meetings internally with city staff, trying to identify the various streets that would be included. And so what we are requesting is that the board will authorize staff to prepare the bid specifications and to advertise for bid for the 2021 annual paving project.
Follow up for Daniel? If not, I'll move that we authorize staff to prepare bid specs to advertise for the bid for the 2021 annual paving project.
I'll second.
Kevin, can you hear?
We can now, Sam. We'll come back to you. Shan seconded that. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Daniel, let's hold on to your stuff if you don't mind. We've got Sam on the line. Sam, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Back to IDEM, everything's well with IDEM. We're current on our plans and we don't have any, we're current on our reports and don't have any other issues.
Okay, great.
I have a walk-on, if I may, please.
Sure.
Last meeting, you approved hiring appraisers to value an easement that we needed to give Vectren to provide utility service to the new DPW building.
Yes.
And under statute, we need for the Board of Works to do a minimum bid. Unfortunately, we've got some appraisals that don't seem to be both within the realm of reason for this particular purpose. One valued the easement at $4,900 and the other at $31,500. Neither of the appraisal took into account that the city was the only beneficiary of this easement. So I'm before the board today, and we checked the statute. You're not required to use either appraisals or an average. You're free to make whatever minimum bid that you want. And I'm here to ask you to determine a minimum bid, keeping in mind that the city is the only beneficiary of this easement, and we will need to do business with Vectren in the future.
Sam, do you have a recommended or suggested minimum bid for us to consider?
Yes, $2,000.
Well, I'll move that we authorize staff to present a minimum bid of $2,000 for this easement.
Second.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Next up, I have consideration of a settlement for Parcel 12 on Wilshire Road, Section 2. This is a easement where our appraiser valued the property value diminution to be $62,450. The homeowner came back and pointed out some trees and other things that weren't included in our appraisal. He asked for $68,710. Given that the homeowner had legitimate concerns and the difference between $62,450 and $68,710 would not even pay for the court-ordered appraisers if we had to litigate, we are suggesting that you accept the homeowner's counteroffer of $68,710.
You've got a prepared settlement and release, and that would be for the mayor to sign on the board's behalf. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Moving to second and further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Next up is consideration of a professional services agreement with environmental firm Aegis. You've been provided with the agreement, and this relates to doing some more environmental remediation for the old fuel tanks that are at the fuel farm. This is for $92,449, and we would ask you to approve this agreement and authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the city.
Questions for Sam? Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rutherford. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Is that it, Sam?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Daniel, now, thank you for letting us interrupt you. Let's go back to, I think you're up for Zaxby's.
That's correct. This one's pretty straightforward. Just the items are to acknowledge the street improvements and the sidewalk improvements, both in the public right-of-way, and to release their maintenance letter of credit. The field inspection, all items were still in satisfactory condition. And so that is our recommended motion to acknowledge the completion of the street improvements and sidewalks and to release the maintenance agreement.
Pleasure of the board on this.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second. I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Rutherford. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And then my last item, this is at the intersection, there you go on screen, Madison, the intersection of Madison Avenue and County Line. So the city of Greenwood is working with the city of Indianapolis regarding an intersection improvement project here. The ultimate condition, the final condition will allow westbound to southbound a dual left turn. If you've ever been stuck in that traffic queue, backed up all the way to the railroad tracks, I think this is going to be a definite improvement. The city of Greenwood did enter into an interlocal agreement with the city of Indianapolis. One of our responsibilities is to acquire land on the south side, the southwest corner and the southeast corner as necessary for the project. And so we hired two firms, appraisal firms, to prepare those appraisals. And I've uploaded a memo to SharePoint if you have access to that. On the southwest corner, we are acquiring 0.102 acres. The average appraisal value is $41,100. And then on the southeast quadrant, we're acquiring 0.026 acres with an average appraisal value of $139,148. So currently, city staff, we're discussing the best funding source for these. We have kind of a choice between the Fry Road TIF, Central TIF, or the East TIF could be used for these acquisitions. That would certainly require the approval of the Redevelopment Commission. Additionally, once the city of Greenwood acquires the land and that process is complete, we then have to transfer the land to the city of Indianapolis, since they have the jurisdiction over the public right-of-way along county line. And so our recommended motion, there's kind of multiple parts to it, would be to approve the acquisition of land on the southwest corner and the southeast corner of the intersection of Madison Avenue and County Line Road, pending approval of the Redevelopment Commission for funding, to authorize the mayor and deputy mayor to sign the necessary documents for the offer and purchase, and to authorize city staff to prepare all necessary documents to transfer the land to the city of Indianapolis, and authorize the mayor and deputy mayor to sign all necessary documents on the board's behalf. That's our recommended motion, if you have any questions.
Or you forget what the motion is there a motion to make those recommended motions in three parts as Daniel just suggested?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Colvin. Second by Mr. Rutherford. Now, are there any questions? I had a question. So the Speedway station on the southeast corner, that's pretty tight the way it is. What's going on there, or what's contemplated to go on there?
Sure. The city's has had ongoing conversations with Speedway about potential improvements. I've not personally been involved in those all the time, so we could find out additional information for you on that.
Kevin, I can address this one.
Yes, Sam.
The city's negotiation with Speedway is we own land south of their parcel, and the ultimate goal would be for that gas station to be demolished and a nicer one built slightly south, and we would trade them land for land.
Makes sense. That can get worked out.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Daniel, have you had any conversations with the city on looking at the timing of that intersection lights, especially the east-west movements? It seems to me that my experience in that intersection is north-south movement, the green stays green for a lengthy period of time, and that's causing some of the backup as well. But I don't know if they feel the same way, or, engineering-wise, I don't know that a study's been done.
And we haven't had that specific conversation with them. Actually, you're the first to mention that, so I can certainly ask them that question the next time we discuss the project.
Yeah, if you could, that would be good.
It's obviously worse during rush hour when people are coming off of 65 going west.
And hopefully with having 2 turn lanes going south, that'll help.
That'll help.
We can't cut through the old red barn lot anymore, so that
Yeah, I missed that.
may account for part of it.
I think also,
Nobody heard any officials say that, though.
Yeah. I think also we should, this would relate to Indianapolis as well. Northbound Emerson at County Line tends to be a bottleneck, and a similar situation I think would help solve that. If we had 2 left turn lanes going westbound County Line from northbound Emerson, currently there's 1 lane, and with Walmart there and emptying its parking lot out, it just backs everything up. I think if there were 2 lanes going westbound, that might help that situation. But again, it's another situation that Indianapolis controls that intersection, but might be something to put on our wish list.
I agree 100%.
Maybe that's
You
something
could
for
sit there
Daniel to
forever.
put on his agenda list. Anything else about the County Line Madison intersection? If not, we have a motion on the floor. Is there, what's the consensus? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes
Aye.
unanimously. Okay. Okay. Anything else, Daniel?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wright, I thought I saw you on here earlier. There you are.
I'm here. I don't have anything this evening.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Well, Shan, looks like.
Well, then I'll move for approval of the claims.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Everybody.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you all. We'll stand adjourned at 5:57 PM.
I will email